Rainbow Six Siege looks like. And let me just say, I'm excited to be here with all of you beautiful people. I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway, and I'm your host for the Reveal panel. Joining me, we have two amazing people. Help me in welcoming Alexander Karpazis, Creative Director, and Joshua Mills, Associate Game Director. I mean, Alex, you're hearing the crowd, you're hearing the excitement. How does it feel to be back here in person for the panel?
I've missed this so much. That's what I want to hear, Montreal. It's been over 2 years since we've done this in person in Montreal. It always gives the team so much energy when we see the players on the stage, when we see the fans in the crowd. So this is very, very special right now.
Ooh, so love. Now, Joshua, for you, this is very special as well for you. You went from being in the stands as a fan last SI to now being here in person for presenting the panel. How does that feel to make that shift?
I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's kind of overwhelming. Like, this is insane. You're right. The last time we had SI in person, I was up in the stands. In fact, I was sitting right there screaming my head off. And my squad, they're in here as well. Like, this is incredible. Like, this.
It is definitely an incredible moment, and y'all are making it that much more special. Now, Alex, you are a vet to these panels, so I feel like your nerves, you don't have them going in. You're just a pro at this.
There's a bit of nervous energy every single time we show off an entire year's worth of content, the roadmap that we're going to be visiting, so I'm really excited right now.
Okay, and who's excited to learn what's ahead? Well, let's get started by talking about the overall vision for year 8. Now, Alex, I can't help but ask, year 7, what was the main takeaway that you're thinking the team kept in mind going into year 8?
So year 7 was a big one for the Siege team. We brought a lot to the table. We had new maps. We had big updates to systems in our game like Ranked. We introduced the reputation system as well, making sure we reinforce those anti-toxicity, anti-cheat features. And so all of that's informed us where we need to go next in year 8.
So where are we going in year 8? What is the focus for the team?
For us, it's about doubling down on what makes Siege so special. The fact that it's one of the most unique, tactical, strategic games that gets your heart racing moment to moment. We want to make sure that we respect that and we own that. And moving forward, we just make sure that everything that is so special to the game is reinforced.
Okay, now with that in mind, the community is a huge part of Siege. Joshua, what is your hopes for the community going into year 8?
Honestly, my hopes is I want this community and I want Siege to be the envy of every other community. This is our game. This is our time. Let's do this.
Who's ready to do this? Make some noise. It is time to dive deeper. Let's find out what is in store for us for each season. Let's talk about the seasons and operators. Starting with season 1, Alex, there was lots of noise for Commanding Force, especially returning to Brazil with Brava. What was the decision to head back?
So if you missed the panel yesterday, the reveal, we did talk about Brava, the saboteur who comes from Brazil. For us, it's really fun to revisit old locations we've been before. She's actually the cousin of Capitao. That means we can tell more stories there, create more links between the Siege operators. And then on the flip side too, Brazil is a huge community that's so passionate. Of course, we had to go back to Brazil.
And you're hearing that the fans are really happy that we're going back to Brazil. One thing the fans made lots of noise about was Mousetrap, and that feature coming in season 1. What can you tell us?
I know we said it couldn't be done, and yet we've done it. The team has worked so hard on making sure that console players have a fair and balanced opportunity while playing our game. And this is not only a Siege first, this is an industry first for us.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Siege is making headway for the industry as a whole. You gotta love it. And we are gonna get into the other seasons, but I do wanna talk about when you're looking at the seasons and what the community could get out of them, what kind of content are we looking to from the team?
So we're still committed to bringing a new Battle Pass every single season, a new progression for you to work towards. And on top of that, we also have an event that'll drop mid-season every single time, something fresh, something that breaks up the core of Siege for those players out there.
Okay. Well, we all know what's coming, season 1, but who's ready to hear about season 2? All right, Alex, let's talk about season 2. Where are we going?
So I know we've been to Sweden a couple times on the esports side. We're officially announcing a Swedish operator season 2.
That's definitely getting some people excited. Now, along with that, there is a rework coming, as you can see, that is long overdue. Tell us about the consulate map rework.
Yeah, I think the crowd's already pretty hype about this. I know season 2 is a little ways away, so I don't know if anybody's actually interested in seeing what we're doing with the map.
I mean, we come out here. Do you guys want to see what season 2, the rework, looks like? I think you're going to have to be a little louder than that. Right, Alex?
All right, let's roll the clip. We're going back to Consulate, and we are making big, big changes to it. This is one of our oldest maps. We had to rebuild it from the ground up. The way that the bomb sites behave, the variety in the ways that you can attack it or defend it. Also, another really important thing too is for attackers to have a safe avenue to approach the building. All of this is coming season 2. The World team has been working incredibly hard to deliver it. And again, one of our oldest maps. On the tech side, we had to completely redo it. It's one of our biggest reworks we had to do on the back end. So we hope the players enjoy it.
So there's going to be a lot of updates that you see or don't see as well. But I know a lot of people, Joshua and I were looking at each other when you saw that garage, right? Am I right? Yeah. Another update coming to season 2 is permanent arcade. Share us some deets.
So we talked about permanent arcade in year 7. It is coming season 2. This is a permanent space where you can try out all of the different arcades that we have in the game. And when it launches, we'll probably add a little extra to it as well.
Ooh. The mystery, the teases. Alex, I can see you've done this before. All right, let's get into season 3.
Let's do it.
Alex, where are we heading in season 3?
So we're heading back to a familiar country. It is South Korea.
Now, what is, we talked a little bit going back to Brazil, but South Korea, what is it about South Korea and bringing an operator from there that is getting the team excited?
So it's, again, a little old, a little new. This is a new chance for an operator to kind of shine beside Vigil and Dokkaebi, tell those stories. And again, our South Korean community is so vocal, so passionate, we had to go back.
And And one of the things that I like is getting into matches and just going into matches very fast. Joshua, what update is going to bring us to matches quicker?
So we're actually going in and reworking what quick match is. So what that means is right now when you go into unranked or ranked, the stakes are pretty high. And then quick match, we all know the stakes aren't quite as high. So, it plays very differently. So looking into that to make sure that we can have an experience that is fun for people to actually take a break from ranked and have something fun to do with their squad. Maybe you didn't do so well in ranked tonight. Go blow off some steam in quick match. But again, remove some of those frustrations, get you into the core siege and faster. That's where we're going.
Yes. Get into matches, have some fun sooner and quicker. Now with that, I think we have one more season to go, right? Everyone's excited for this one. You have to end with season 4 with a bang, and that means that we are not only getting a new location, but a new map as well. Alex, you can hear some excitement in the crowd. Where are we heading to?
You can see it already. We're going to visit Portugal in season 4. For the new map, we'll be looking at a map that's actually tied to the story of the game, and the team is working really hard on working on something that you haven't seen before in the maps you've played in Siege.
All right, we have a lot to look forward to for all of the seasons. Thank you so much for taking us through that, and the crowd's excitement is just wild. But it is time to move forward into player protection. Let's talk about this, because player protection brought a lot of updates in year 7. Why was this focus important for the team?
Player protection is huge for us. We maintain that we have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to cheaters and when it comes to toxicity itself. And so that means reinforcing the game so that everybody feels welcome, everybody can have a fair and competitive match in Siege.
Okay, and with that said, let's actually head over to find out more updates with Player Protection and Game Security Director Emmanuel Larive.
Les sujets au niveau du player protection, mais surtout au niveau de l'anti-cheat, sont des sujets complexes. Nous ne pouvons pas venir avec une seule solution, nous devons devenir avec un éventail de solutions. L'équipe Player Protection, pour l'ensemble de l'année 8, va travailler sur un set d'initiatives, dont certaines sont issues du recherche et développement. On peut mentionner QB, Mousetrap, Reputation Penalties, Reputation System, mais aussi Ban on Data. Cet ensemble a pour but de répondre à nos objectifs en termes de réduction de la toxicité au niveau de votre play experience, mais aussi de tout cas de tricherie, d'exploit et de hack au sein du jeu. QB est une nouvelle solution de sécurité que nous avons construite à l'interne. Le but de cette solution est de diminuer l'occurrence du cheating au sein du jeu, mais aussi d'augmenter les coûts de production d'un cheat au sein de Rainbow Six Siege. C'est la première fois qu'une telle solution est mise en place dans l'industrie autour du FPS compétitif. Mousetrap, une nouvelle mesure de sécurité dont le but va être de réduire l'impact des cheaters au niveau des consoles et de rendre l'expérience beaucoup plus juste pour tout le monde. Nous sommes à l'heure actuelle les premiers dans l'industrie à avoir mis en place une telle solution. La solution Mousetrap, qui va être déployée durant la saison 1, va être une première fondation. Nous allons bien entendu la faire évoluer à travers les saisons de manière itérative afin d'être sûr d'avoir une solution qui soit robuste et résiliente sur le long terme. Le Reputation System est une feature complexe qui est sortie récemment dans sa version bêta. Je suis très heureux de vous annoncer une nouvelle feature sur laquelle l'équipe est en train de travailler, le Player Commendation System. Le but de cette feature est de mettre en place un système d'appréciation dans lequel les joueurs vont pouvoir noter d'autres joueurs par rapport à leur expérience au sein d'un match. Bien entendu, lorsque nous allons sortir cette nouvelle feature, nous allons la monitorer et faire en sorte qu'elle ne soit pas abusée. Dans le but de rendre votre expérience beaucoup plus équitable, mais aussi juste au niveau du mode compétitif, nous allons ajouter de nouvelles règles. L'objectif va être de réduire le taux d'incidence des comptes inadéquats sur votre expérience de jeu, mais aussi de réduire l'impact du smurfing qui est considéré comme du cheating au sein de Rainbow Six Siege. Au niveau de la sécurité, un autre point très important le Privacy Mode. Nous avons mis en place une initiative sur PC afin de mieux protéger nos content creators, mais aussi tous nos joueurs au sein de Rainbow Six Siege. Et je suis très heureux de vous annoncer que nous allons mettre en place cette solution sur console afin d'avoir une protection qui soit optimale et transversale pour tous. Cet ensemble d'initiatives a pour but de rendre Rainbow Six Siege beaucoup plus coopératif, accueillant, mais aussi sécuritaire pour tous et toutes.
People are happy with that, as you could see. Now, what it comes down to, I feel, player protection is really about how you're addressing cheaters, right? So how is Year 8 going to do that?
Well, we're already seeing it with QB that's been released. We're seeing cheaters losing faith in the cheats that they're buying, and that's exactly what we want to see. On top of that, we're already seeing that it's becoming more expensive to develop cheats for Siege, and that's where we want to be in Year 8, to make sure it's impossible to build up this kind of momentum on the cheater side.
And that means that there are multiple tools, as we saw Emmanuel talk about.
That's right. You've seen, again, this is in-house tech we're building, QB Mousetrap. We're also reinforcing it with new initiatives on top of what Emmanuel showed in the video. It's all about adding more strings to our bow, and we have enough solutions to make Siege as secure as possible.
Now, another part of player protection has to be something that the fans got excited about. That is the reputation system and seeing the updates coming there. So what is this really going to do for the community?
So reputation system is in beta right now. We have everything where you start seeing the penalties assigned to players who are disruptive. You also have a place where you can report. But we also want to celebrate the wins in Siege too. We want to commend our teammates who are doing a good job, making a great call or a great play, and actually have that positive reinforcement in Siege as well.
Well, if one thing SI has taught me, the Siege community loves to be supportive of one another, so I know they're going to love this commendation system. Who's excited for everything coming with player protection? Now, with that said, there is another way that the game is making things fairer, and that's on the side of balancing in terms of how you play. So let's get into balancing. Joshua, what does balancing look like for Siege?
So balancing ultimately is an ever-evolving process in Siege, and it's really focused on a couple things. One, that tone, that direction we're setting the game, which is that highly tactical game, making sure that the strategy is at the forefront. Second is to remove frustration. So anytime we have things in the game that are just frustrating for any of us playing, we look at that and we try to get away, remove that from the game. So ultimately, those two things, while ensuring that players are empowered and we're not just always taking things away. Like if you're having fun with something, we want to build up towards that and challenge that instead of just knocking people down.
So thinking of that, looking back at Year 7, what was that takeaway that the team had?
So the big takeaway there is your voice was heard in a very important way. And what I mean by that is when we were looking at the Smoke update, this is the idea of Smoke being no longer immune to his gadget. There was a big vocal response about that, and the idea that, hey, no, this really matters to the core of the character. It's what makes that operator special, those kind of what-if moments. If that character got in a situation where they were actually able to do something the other operators couldn't, it adds a little life to the game. Now, the odds of it happening come down to that scenario of a what-if, but it's important for us to hear that and make those decisions with all the voices of Siege being heard.
All right, and your voices are definitely being heard throughout this panel, especially when we did the Season 1 reveal yesterday as well. And one of those things that came with the reveal was the reload rework. So how is this going to improve players' skills?
So ultimately, the reload rework stems from that idea of maybe not just improving players' skills, but rewarding the players who already have those skills, where they're pushing those fights where they know they have the intel on that the other person reloading. Well, we want to make sure that your expectations and your reality are matching. So no more magic magazines. They're not popping back in these weapons anymore. We're going to make sure that once you've committed to a reload, it is purposeful and it has consequence, just like everything else in Siege. Again, you have to be careful, you got to strategize, and you got to be aware of what you're doing at every moment.
All right. Now for Season 2, do I have some Frost fans out there? All right, well, Frost is getting a rework that is going to bring more opportunities in gameplay, but also more to the Huntress fantasy. What can you tell us there?
So yeah, we're actually revisiting Frost, specifically her welcome mat. And what that means is right now, many of our players can find themselves in a situation where they have been welcomed into Sage welcome mat, and then they're stranded and stuck. Well, again, about empowering both sides of the fight here, players will be able to get themselves up. The catch here is that when we talk about making any changes like this to try to remove frustration, we want to make sure that we're empowering both sides. So in this case, Frost will actually be able to track you down because you will not be able to sprint, you will leave a blood trail, and those defenders will still be able to get you. It'll still take time to get out of that trap, but she can still hunt you down.
That sounds pretty cool. It's really looking like you're taking the fantasy of it all in. We got to get in to Season 3. Because Season 3 is bringing a new defender gadget to the game. What can you tell us about this?
So we have a new defender secondary gadget coming to the game called the observation blocker, and this thing is built around that pillar of Siege, which is intel. And in the case of the defenders, denying it from the attackers. So their observation tools will have to work a little bit harder to find out what that site setup is or what the defenders are trying to set up and pounce on the attackers with.
Now with this, this defender gadget, can you tell us a little bit more about how it works exactly?
Yeah, so you actually can take it and deploy it onto the floor, and when you do, it'll actually expand fairly far out. It'll cover a doorway, but much bigger beyond that. And again, it stops any observation tool from being able to see through it.
All right, sounds pretty cool. Now, for this, which operators are going to be targeted for this, Alex?
So you can see it here. The drone can't see through the blocker, and that works great with operators like Maestro, who can zap a drone that doesn't know it's on the other side, or for an operator like Mozzie, who can be waiting on the other side of an observation blocker and then pounce on it and capture it. Working on these kind of synergies means that these defenders will make good use of the observation blocker.
All right. Now this next update coming for Season 4 is getting Joshua really excited because it is going to bring more ways in how we engage with shields. So tell us about the shield rework.
We're reworking shields, fundamentally. So what we're doing there is we're looking at the dance that we see in the game where you're trying to melee the shield to get a shot at the feet and stuff like that. That doesn't feel like you're an empowered elite operator. It doesn't feel tactical. So we're looking into that and revisiting that. This idea where right now you're hip firing and you're missing every shot, or you hip fire and get that lucky headshot, again, doesn't feel very good on either side of that shield. So we're looking into that and adjusting everything. In the case, we're actually bringing the gun in behind the shield. So that's going to make you more defended and more able to work with your team better, reload behind the shield, and also turn your head.
Lots of excitement here for that, but you're not done yet, Joshua.
So any adjustment we do to any operator or gadget, we have to think about both sides of that fight. So yes, this is making shields a force to be reckoned with, but when you face a shield, you will have more tools in your arsenal to be able to handle it. So at both sides, you can be confident, but I recommend you keep them at range.
Tank controls is pretty wild. As you can tell, everyone's getting super hyped about it. How does this work with engaging and working with navigating your gadgets?
So when we're talking about a shield user with their gadgets, it's about being that wall, that defense structure for your team. And as we could see, you can turn your head to the side, the left or right or whatnot, and you can deploy your secondaries. So hold the line in front of you, throw your smoke grenade to your left, cover that line, and then start pushing forward.
Nice. We do have to push forward because we have much more updates to go through, but it is a big year for balancing, that is for sure. But now we're going to head into player comfort and console improvements. Now in year 8, how is the team building on player comfort, Alex?
Player comfort for us is making sure that you're not actively working against the game in order to accomplish what you want to do in it. So no matter what platform you're on, you're always achieving that kind of reliability in the controls that you have and the experience that you have.
Okay, when I think controls, I do think console. And I'm hoping that console players will get some love too.
Absolutely. So our Kev studio has been doing an amazing job on the console front, and with specifically the aiming controls. We can see that with the advanced aiming that we've already released in year 7. But going beyond that, we're bringing presets. So multiple presets that allow you to play the game differently and have more control. But going beyond that, full controller remap.
Yes, it is, it's great that you're talking about that because it could sometimes feel limiting playing on PC with, and you're hearing that as well. So how is it going to get more comfortable there? You talked about the layout, but something else is coming.
Well, ultimately, when we're talking about remapping these controls, it's to give our players the same control that their PC counterparts have as far as that goes. For example, if you play on console, you can't lean without ADSing. Well, you can potentially do that with the way you set up your controls and with those presets. Additionally, if you're ever in a really heated moment and you go to ADS and then you go to lean to the right, sometimes you pop that melee out instead and then you just win that, lose that fight. So ultimately, removing that frustration, giving you the control to customize the game so you can be as competitive as you want to be.
I love it. We got to keep going and keep pushing through because we have another update from the electronic devices we use to play the game to the electronic devices we use in-game. Alex, I'm talking gadgets.
Yeah, gadget interaction. This is a system that hasn't changed in a long time. This is when you deploy a gadget, when you pick it up, when you throw it. We're looking at improving this, specifically starting with the gadget pickup and the diffuser pickup to make sure it's a lot more reliable and a lot less frustrating for players. Beyond that, in year 8, we're looking at gadget deployment. You have deployable shields. You have that little dance of trying to get it in the right spot. We want to make sure that's a better experience for players.
Now with that, we quickly touched on the quick match rework. So how are we going to really get this to work to help us get into games faster and make that more smooth?
So ultimately, it comes down to the fact that quick match is played differently on the servers, and there is some frustration around how it's played. It's trying to remove that frustration and making it a more fun experience for people just to be able to jump into and have that slightly less competitive nature, but still keep the entire core of Siege there, speed things up, get you into the action more, really just get the reps in, the muscle memory. It all comes down to that.
Get the muscle memory in. It's kind of like going to the gym, if you will. Gym fans, Siege gym fans, we're going to be flexing, right, in quick match. Now with that, we have concluded the player comfort and console improvements, and now we're going to get more information on onboarding updates with our associate game director, Christopher Budgeon.
Siege has been around for a long time. New players are competing with very competent and experienced players that are playing with our game every single day. This can be overwhelming for new players because Siege has a lot of depth, and new players don't have the tools to learn how to play Siege correctly. In year 8, we really want new players to practice through play. We want them to experience operators, test out their gadgets, and navigate maps. In Season 1, we're bringing Beginner Challenges, a new progression tool for newcomers, which allows them to learn how to play Siege, as well as unlock operators as they play. In Season 2, we're going to be bringing the aiming lane to the shooting range. You'll be able to customize the speed, the movement, the quantity of targets, as well as advanced techniques such as headshots only. In Season 3, we'll be bringing brand new playable tutorials. Each one of these maps will allow the players to learn a different element of Siege, whether that's basics like destruction or verticality, droning and rappelling, reinforcements and barricades. We reward 10 new ops for players upon completion of those tutorials. 5 on attack, 5 on defense. And in Season 4, we'll be bringing the Defender AI playlist, a safe place to teach your friends how to play Siege and to learn new operators and new maps. We're really excited about this new AI playlist. It uses a machine learning algorithm, which is informed by our current players playing today. In this playlist, you'll play as an attacker against a Defender AI. The next steps for us afterwards would be to add the Attacker AI playlist in a future update.
Now with that, there is no secret that Siege has lots of strategy in it. So what is the key to finding those opportunities to improve?
The key is to offer more tools to the players so that they get used to this beautifully complex game of Siege. That's something I'm sure everybody watching the stream and everybody here knows. Whether you have an hour in Siege or 1,000, you're always learning, and that's what makes it so special. So we want to make sure that you have the tools to learn, and you saw with the video with Christopher, even veterans will be able to benefit from this.
Speaking of the veterans of the game, make some noise. We saw there the update with shooting range. How are they going to be able to really customize that experience?
So the shooting range is growing. Last year we introduced it. You can customize your loadout, test your attachments, check the damage that you do. We're adding a completely dedicated lane now where you can customize, aim, warm up before you jump into the match. This is something that you could only do outside of the game. Now you can get your one-stop shop of all of this testing in the shooting range.
It sounds like a good time, but I hear whispers on the Siege streets that this is not just for the fans or the players that are not a part of the dev team. This is also solely for the dev team as well.
Yeah, honestly, this is essentially development tools that we're using. Like, we use this for checking all our balancing and all the updates. It's been fantastic, and the work that our Shanghai studio has been doing has just been incredible.
So what you're telling me is that you two are sharpshooters because you spend so much time in the shooting range.
You gotta do that. No.
No?
No.
Any sharpshooters out there? Well, you are intimidating out there for some players like myself, so let's talk about the players that may want to get away from the pressure of being in games with the scary sharpshooters. How is Defender AI Playlist going to create that opportunity for them to learn?
So that's right. The Defender AI playlist is coming out really targeting to beginner players because, let's be honest, regardless of the rework we're working on for Quick Match, y'all are scary in some of those lobbies. So it's important that we give people a place that they can go in, start learning the base of the Siege, and experience the game. And
for this, like, how does it work exactly? Because this isn't just like your typical bot experience.
That's right. As Chris mentioned, these are actually AI, machine-learned AI, which essentially we're feeding them player data, which means they react and act as they should. They'll go ahead and set up a site and reinforce it in a default setup that makes sense. They'll open up rotations. They'll place gadgets where you'd expect to find them.
Okay, well with that, there is quite a bit coming there, but also I feel like you're telling us to go to the gym, we could get those reps in, build our Siege muscles, and then with this, we could also keep learning and kind of go to school and get that knowledge points up, so I'm loving all of that. Now, for players out there that want to take advantage of this content we covered and more, well, guess what? The Year Pass is back, and with more information on that is Business Strategy Director Mohammed Ben Hanada.
Same as last year, we're bringing back the Year Pass. This will give you access to the 4 battle passes of the year, alongside the privileges that come with them. So you have the access to the operators, the shop discount, and more. And lastly, you'll have an exclusive bundle coming with it. There will also be the Year Pass Premium Bundle. This will give you access to the same content as the Year Pass, alongside 20 tiers of the Battle Pass every season, and an exclusive bundle that will feature an exotic weapon skin. And this will be launching next Monday for a limited time only.
Now with that, the end end of the Year 8 panel is nearing.
Yes.
And you can tell that everyone is very excited to see each other, but also all the content that's coming ahead. So as we head into Year 8, what is that lasting impression you want the fans, the community, to be left with, Joshua?
Well, as you said at the top of this, like, I mean, I was in the stands, I started playing in 2015, like many of us here, and the honest truth of it is that this is our game. Like, this is your game, this is the pros game, this is the devs game. Like, we're all doing this together, and we can't do it without you, and we really, really appreciate everything you do for the community, everything you give to us. I mean, this is Siege. Collectively, we are Siege.
Yes, this is Siege. We are Siege. And it's such a tight-knit community that loves supporting each other. It's been amazing to just see everyone's reactions and how passionate everyone is for what's ahead. Now, We Are Siege is pretty inspirational. I could put that up on a poster as I head into ranked. Alex, do you have an inspirational quote with that lasting impression you want to leave the community?
That's a tall order. What I do want to share with the community, and it's a message from the team, is that we really do believe in the strength of this game. We are looking at what made Rainbow so special, what makes the pillars of Siege so special. This is a game unlike any other, where you have destruction, you have creativity, you have heart-pounding moments, and no two maps play out the same every single time you jump online. These are the things that we want to reinforce. This is the new tone that we want to set for the game. And I don't know if anybody saw our cinematic from Year 8, but this is the world that we want to build, where there are real stakes for our operators, and there's real stakes too for our players, where they can really get invested and have a good time.
Now, with all that said, what does that mean for the future of Siege?
So we're already moving up to Year 8 of Siege, and we are so committed to this game. We're already looking at the next 10 years of Siege. We know all of you have invested so much time, so much love into this game, that we will not abandon it. We are here to stay, and we love you all.
Make some noise for Year 8 and the next 10 years and beyond for Siege. With that said, Alex, Joshua, it's been a pleasure to have you here with the reveal and showing us what's ahead, especially all of you. You all are so great and beautiful for coming on this journey with us to show you what's ahead as well. And guess what? There is still more to look forward to, because we have a little update on the esports front. Let's take a look at what's up for season 2023.
Hey everyone, I'm Nicholas, Chief Innovation Officer at Blast, and we're very excited to embark on this new journey with you, the Siege community, in this first-of-its-kind partnership with our good friends at Ubisoft.
And I am Nelson, in charge of esports event and broadcast at Ubisoft. Today we are sharing with you the roadmap of international events for the season 2023. We revealed in December that each competitive season will be composed of 2 stages, concluded by 2 majors. Let's have a look at the destinations for this year.
In May, we will welcome you with open Danish arms to join us in our hometown as we bring Rainbow Six to Blast's home turf of Copenhagen, Denmark. We pride ourselves on delivering next-level entertainment and have some exciting plans to take those events to all corners of the world. We have a burning ambition to bring esports closer to those who love it most, and cannot wait to show you what Ubisoft and Blast have in store for 2023 and beyond. And coming next, in November, we will head to the United States. And finally, what this brilliant community is waiting for every year, craving, desiring, the Six Invitational.
We have already announced that we're going to move DSI around the world starting in 2024. And what I can say at this point is that it will definitely be at warmer places than Montreal in the
For the first time in the history of 6 Invitational, we'll be heading to Brazil in early 2024. It has been too long since we have met our Brazilian community, so we are excited to be back.
And in the meantime, we're also happy to share that the new season will kick off during the week commencing 6th of March. There's still so much more to reveal on the season that is 2023. A new update on the circuit with extra details on each region's format and a path to the majors will be announced next week, so stay tuned.
Thank you all for watching us, and see you soon.
I think we can agree that the future of Siege is going to be bright and apparently loud because y'all are